with us.
Oh, my favorite CT pistol call. Art's going to go for info fountain and call for a rotate should he desire. They get an early 4-man stack, and he will call for backup immediately if he glances. He just presses his ear to the wall. They go wide on playground, so he won't get any sound cues there.
Just a quick note of the 1x bet odds here, favoring Vitality in this matchup.
Okay, so Art actually, you know, he's got nothing to report, but he's going to get a nasty rude awakening if he just has a glance long. I fear for... Oh, okay.
Got some steps now, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, and the rotate's going to come in immediately. It looks like it's Vinny.
He's biffing.
On the way, stands to try and deliver, immediately falls. Do they pick up the pace, or do they pause?
Not overcommitting here. The bomb most likely spotted in that flurry of Art going down. Vinny trying to hold them at bay with merely a flash, so that's a big part of the utility already gone.
Yeah, you'd have loved that for the bomb plant.
And they're just pausing right now. Shox is dealing with any aggressive maneuvers over towards B. Nobody's pushed up through that underpass. ZywOo to deal with Long, Kyojin and Masuta hanging in the forward position of the bathrooms now.
I will say, if Shox sticks around, it looks like he has actually changed his mind and starting to rejoin the pack. If he had committed to the flank and holding it, you'd have still been playing a 4v4. Now, however, the numbers game starts to once again favor Vitality. Vinny, yet
still Vinny.
Yeah, he still hasn't found anything. And now we see the smoke from Apex deployed, a flash to follow. And Vinny starting to call for backup. Actually
need some help.
Yeah, there comes the rotate. He'll play from bank, looking for a head. Nothing found, and the Glocks have the sight. Vitality, they're not in a rush here. They're using every second they've got on that clock. Still not rushing the plant, tucking in, set up. There's so many players tucked in on APC's side. It's Honda. First bullet out of his pistol, and he's gone and done damage. Takes the head off of Kyojin. And another for Honda. Here we go, making quite the announcement of his presence here in his debut LAN game. You got any more for us, Honda? That's the question. It looks like Yuri has at least, and Honda goes and makes it 3. They're going to hype him up. They are going to give him all the credit, all the brownie points, because FURIA take Vitality's pistol.
That's crazy how simple that looked, right? And you could see Vitality, they wanted to get full control of the site there before they were going to get that bomb down, and by doing so, they lost a body in the mix. That was a 4v5 situation for a very, very long time after Masuta's opening onto Art, and then they only got one more kill after that. So, interesting scenes, and hold up a second. Art already has an AWP, so thank you very much, Mr. Honda, who dropped that one across.
Like, Art's hyping him up. He's only gone and got 3 frags and won the round for his team. Now he proceeds to give his in-game leader and superstar AWPer the AWP round 2.
Going to be very interested in this dynamic with FURIA now. The fact that Honda's in play, Junior's not. We won't have the overlap of the double AWPers that they could never make look the same as the Henny-Art combo.
Oh, man, I think I'm going to enjoy this one. CT, same gamble, same as the pistol, 4-1 split, and it's Yuri that's given the responsibility. What's he equipped with? Single M4, no nades to be seen. And Apex, his signature second round scout. Look at the early info play. Wow, KSCERATO's pushed out Monster.
Oh, and the rotation's coming over as well.
He's got a lot to deal with. Smoked off, he might challenge this. It's all about timing, straight through. Oh, you brave boy. Very brave here. Slight gap. It's ZywOo on the other side of things. He's got a lot of players with their backs turned. This is some damage. Bomb loose. Yuri to destabilize Vitality's fort here. Oh. And now some contributions from Vinny. Goes to back up Yuri. They lock him down. The bomb's loose, and that smoke's
AK.
Only gone and upgraded his weapon as well. Vinny, very happy. Look at their buy. This is second round.
This is beautiful. It's a full gun round. Art's even found Apex.
Oh my God. Furia could not have asked for a better start. ZywOo already puts his name in the feed. It's short-lived. And now Shox just looking to do some damage at this point. We talk about those weapons. If he could take a couple of them away, that's something.
He's got the M4 in hand. The bomb on the other side of the divider, a little bit more than just a problem. If he gets a kill, that's great. I don't even think he's going to get away with that. Has been spotted now. Wants to flash to reinitiate the fight. Swings out wide. Spots up 3. Gets taken down. And Honda grabs another frag here. So a great start from the rookie.
I remember the first time I saw Honda, he got that ridiculous deagle hold of B Inferno. Yep. Quickly joined the Honda Peak Steam group.
Yeah, that was there were so many jokes, you know, that you could do with that. We might have a couple of those coming out today, I'm sure, especially with the play style that FURIA likes to bring into the server. And that is a great way to kick things off. A pistol round, down a man. The second round, upgrading, getting 2 AK-47s.
It's fire. I mean, truly, like, the coach Gary is just going to be smiling ear to ear at this point.
Have to be happy with the way this one started, and now they can even add a bit more punishment. Nade comes on through. Masuta going to be tickled on up, and it is just these upgraded pistols. ZywOo with the Glock. Apex is already dead. Let's see if ZywOo can find himself that one.
Easy there, Yuri. Shots across the bow.
I think Vitality really just need to try and milk out all this utility here, and they've done already a lot of that. And there are a couple of Molotovs left, same to be said for the smokes, same with the flashes. Kills would be great. You want to keep this economy stifled, because if FURIA walk away with a clean sheet in this one, they're already off to a cracker of a start here.
They'll start building banks so early. Just the absence of deaths as well. There's 3 players yet to die for FURIA. If they can keep it that way, which it looks they might, KSCERATO looking prime as he mows them down on the monster. Nice shot from Shoxy, only the one. KSCERATO will make it 4. And everything pretty much recovered. No issues for FURIA and starting to nurture that bank balance. Here we go. Vitality will whip out everything they can. ZywOo has the funds to go Kevlar AWP.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, like, if Vitality, when we saw Vitality going up against the likes of Renegades, it's not like they really had to get out of, you know, first or second gear. This time round, they're probably going to be tested a little bit more so. And we mentioned the odds at the start of the game. They are coming in as the favorites here, but I'm sure that the only Brazilian team in attendance, at least within the group stage, would want to change that dialogue. And here he is, the madman himself, Art, straight down into connector. Masuta falls again, and the number advantage for FURIA here in the first gun round. Not sure if you caught a bit of a stat line that HLTV put out. It was to do with entry frags and the most attempts. I'm sure you can guess who are in the server, but Nafany was the second alongside him. Those two in-game leader wild men.
That's interesting. I didn't expect Nafany's name to be so high up on that list.
Well, they just love those info plays, right?
Yeah.
Especially on those CT sides. They just get stuck in. And look, their conversion rate, not very high, but Art's in this round, perfect. And look at Yuri's push as well.
Up to? This is... We're on LAN, Yuri. You know, we're on LAN, Yuri. What are you doing? He's already flanking them.
He's got all 4 of them potentially in his crosshair here.
So hot on their heels. Art fires off a shot, and already, that's the bomb carrier. Yuri destabilizes too. He popped off ZywOo's head already. Vitality, this round has just fallen flat on their face. Kyojin just moonwalks in, completely unawares. And Yuri, this flank is phenomenal. He might even find the final cherry on top.
He knows it's coming.
Oh, baby, just looks away. A bit of a heartbreak. Shox will finish him off, stop the quad from happening. But that's round winning. Beautiful play from Yuri, and just converting off the back of Art's opening pick. You knew there was a gap, but he just jumped through that flaming hoop.
That was fantastic work right there to be in tandem like that. And now Shox will hold on to this AWP. You can see that confirmed by the 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Honda's actually started to have a little bit of a looky-loo here, pushing through the connector. How far does he want to push the friendship?
Well, there's an AK to be retrieved. I'm sure KSCERATO or Vinny would love it. Unfortunately, Honda already equipped with it, so plenty of time, 5 seconds. Shox holding on.
They're already fist bumping there in the camera. You can see right now, quite happy with themselves. A bit of a smile from Art and Yuri exchange, because as you mentioned, in tandem, the two of them being able to pull off a big round. So keeping Vitality very honest and forcing a timeout here early within the piece. 4 on the trot. Kyojin and Apex yet to find frags within these rounds.
Back on European soil, FURIA. Been here a while, acclimatized to the environment.
They're used to it now, aren't they? The
Yeah.
amount of times they've had to come over and just boot camp, whether that's been in Germany or Serbia or all over the shop. This kind of environment that they're finding themselves in now, it's not so foreign, right, for most of them. There was Junior with them for the majority of that. Honda obviously coming back into the team now. It makes more sense on paper, right? It makes more sense on paper to have Art there and everybody speaking the same language. We always knew that was going to be a problem. One that the teams, I think, tend to make themselves believe is not an issue.
He was so ready to dismiss that. Okay, now there's another factor that we'll return to.
Yes, indeed.
You saw it already. Apex actually kindly reminding us of exactly another factor. I'll talk about it in a second, because we've got some Counter-Strike to dissect right now.
Oh, Art was looking for the boost there. Knew the AWP was in play.
Yeah, so partial investment around the AWP that was saved. Now, it's Shox that stuck with it. I'm surprised he didn't want to, you know, see what ZywOo wanted to do with it, but regardless, he has the Kevlar to back it up. So a standard default spread. FURIA yet to be broken here, and looking at the funds they currently have acquired, if they can just master another clean one against these Eagles, Vitality are going to struggle to break him the whole half.
Yeah, and Art's actually leering forward here, so this will be the first exchange.
Uri starts off as he means to go on.
Oh, a bit of a blind spot there for Art. He's
Timing.
very lucky. They're still going to keep creeping over towards this A site. Honda's rotated over now. They've evacuated from that connector, so being very versatile in this CT defense here. Honda is here in time. But Shox is not going to be gifted anything. It's going to be hard to find a frag with that AWP.
Yeah, unless Hunter gets a bit peak happy. Not out of the realms of possibility.
Yuri's here now as well. They have 3 players towards this A bomb site, ready to deal with the push from Vitality.
30 seconds. As soon as there's a utility thrown by Vitality as it currently sails through the sky, they'll know it's an all-in. Yuri there to support. Counter util dropped here. There's the fight. Hunter does fall first, and Kyojin's Deagle fills the feed for a double. Recovered Deagle again gets a third. Kyojin popping into the site and popping 3 heads with that Desert Eagle. Doesn't even need the AK, does opt for it now for his potential 4th. And Vinny makes his presence known. Quick response, Kyojin now 4 frags under his belt, just looking to close this one.
Spotted him now.
Knows where you're coming from. Do we have another ace on the list? We're heading towards double digits. We're only on the first day of the main event, and Shox tagged up. They know where he is, and he'll finish the job with that preserved AWP. The French find their volume as they return the favor.
What a way to pop into the server today for Kyojin. That is his first 4 kills here in map number 1, and that was massive.
Let me see it again. First is great, but the fact he so quickly finds that second head is Yuri, who couldn't quite stabilize the aim, and then the third. He anticipates the double up. Oh, great stuff from Kyojin. Clearly not phased by his opponent or the environment.
Yeah, Shox here with that saved ult, finally gets the final kill, but money, honky-dory for that of FURIA. The buy will come back on out, and they're going to do their very best to deny any more for Vitality here. Looks like they're heading straight over towards a B play. Molly about to land in Monster. Tickles the toes of Shox. ZywOo is here to make sure that there's no dramas whatsoever. But the rotation towards B is miles away. Nade landing, it could be good. Big damage done to Kyojin, but they're going through.
That's a big start from Honda. Tries to transfer and maintain the spray in support as they just massacre Vitality. They're not done yet. Honda re-peaks for his second. Masuto's had a quiet start. Very, very impressive performance from him as another star in the Vitality show. Often, you know, the conversation around Vitality was who steps up when ZywOo's having an average day, a mediocre 20 frags day. And the answer was Masuto. It couldn't be Shox anymore. It couldn't really be Apex.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Shox can still have these pop-off performances, but I don't think the expectation anymore is to consider him as a star dropping 20 every game. It has to be the new breed coming through. And Masuda now with 40 seconds left on the clock, 5 to find. This might just be one of these save rounds again for Vitality. Now keep in mind the round that they just won. They have extra money in the bank balance because it was just upgraded pistols around the saved AWP. So you can see them staying competitive going into round 7. But it was fantastic from FURIA there that they denied this push to the site. 4 players coming through Monster because the setup on the other side of the map, meanwhile, was over towards Long. So the rotation, if they traded efficiently, would have meant Vitality get the site for free. Well, not for free. They are able to set up their post plant for free, and then that retake from FURIA would have been a question. Do we even bother going for it knowing the rotation is so far away? Time expires. 5th round on the docket now for FURIA. Gary, he's loving it here. Really impressive start. KSCERATO 7 kills, Yuri with 7. 6 for Honda. Bit of residual cash to work with here as well, only a little. So would love another consecutive round on the board here.
Yeah, just the one blip on the FURIA radar so far.
You don't love to see ZywOo with a Galil, but look, it's a buy nonetheless, and I'm sure that he can make any weapon look like magic.
Game time. Leading B again, despite being shut down so readily by the South American squad. And Honda, he's bringing some aggression in. He is fully blind. Great play. Shox flashing himself into an opening frag, and he's gotten away as well scot-free.
Oh, they're going through Monster now. They're accelerating onto this B side.
No one's there to contest. It really falls to KSCERATO. The incendiary may draw attention towards the ramp. This is his chance. Vinny's head popped. Kyojin again with impact early into this first map. KSCERATO surely just a matter of time. He falls as well, and Vitality have locked this one down. All right, lightning does not strike twice on the all-in B.
They'd have to gift them a couple of kills here to even look into this round. FURIA and Masuta is actually in the best position to punish and make sure they can't save. He's over towards Connector. So while Yuri and Art wait for any tees to greet them, Shox is just around the corner over towards that pipe. He's crouched under the line of sight here, and Shox has taken down Yuri. It's just Art. The AWP strikes, but they run him down. And that's all 5 eliminated. That's a great response from Vitality here. Very well done there. you can see once they had the info that it was the short play, they knew that Monster was a bit more susceptible, and the punish onto Yuri, the fact that he doesn't get a kill, that means the site is given up, maroon towards Sandbag, and we're finding ourselves looking at a competitive first half here.
Yeah, I mean, so it's safe to assume that's a CT smoke short pipe, right? And Shox has only just flashed his way through. Or an extinguished Molotov, that's more
Could have
likely.
been the extinguished, yeah.
But either way, Honda, you could see like just full blind, no chance to turn the flash, and that was the frag that did break them.
They're looking towards B again, and the buy is a bit broken from FURIA. Sure, they have the AWP.
I kind of love what they've done with the naded door. Does mean that they can kind of count on a priority towards Monster. KSCERATO blinded off, unloads his mag, they know he's close. Looks like Vitality are going to be pulling the plug, though. Not interested in that. Some suppressing shots, some tracer fire exchange, but regardless, it looks like they want to head back round the world. Masuta is adventuring towards Art's domain.
Couple of problems with this right here. If Vitality want to go all the way back, they have 1 minute and 10 seconds to clear out close. They've thrown a flash over for Fountain. That's about to pop. And now Art, with that sound cue, is going to be able to have a little bit of a look on up. He's still committed to this connector position, though, and he might profit.
Yeah, it's a question of timing, and I think the attention now drawn to Party could enable a flank. Masuta's starting to crawl. The timing of this is perfect. Still able to strike. Is he ready for the close? He isn't quite. Doesn't put it out in time. Masuta equalizes. That's important, and that was the biggest gun in the round for FURIA.
Oh, Honda's pushing here. If he can get into position, could profit. The timing on this is everything.
Spotted just as he didn't tuck in time, and now back to B it will be. KSCERATO's got the M4, though. He will be checked. It's just down to the jewels. How sharp is KSCERATO today? Loud, shoulder advantage. Nice find from KSCERATO. Neutralizes Monster, and Yuri now an opportunity to strike. He softens them up. KSCERATO will finish off one.
Oh.
Vinny's Deagle connects instantaneously. And now Masuta trying to isolate. It's Vinny's Deagle. Doesn't need anything more. And hello. Little bit of that South America barbecue. We do see them raising the roof. They want to make sure that Vitality know every single time the round goes the way of FURIA.
Oh, and they definitely know now. The coach, Xtaz, in the background there, has called another timeout, the second in only 8 rounds of play, and this is potentially just to calm the unit down. Things not going Vitality's way there against that lower buy, and it looked good, right? They get Art, they eliminate their AWP from the picture. Honda caught in no man's land. They're trying to get cheeky, trying to get up close and personal. But then KSCERATO and Vinny happen. Great work keeping things under pressure late within the round. You can see 15 seconds left on the clock as he starts to pedal back in for this re-peek and the fade away. Lovely stuff from Vinny there. Now, Mr. Animated on your screen right here. The desk were talking about him and how he was a hardcore entry fragger back in the day, and now he's had to become this in-game leading force. He's an emotional man. You love to see somebody wearing their heart on the sleeve.
Okay, a bit of a party fight here. They've got Yuri and Art set up. Now they're going playground side, and a molly will force the fight, I imagine.
We'll have to respect that, don't they?
Yeah, that's something for Art. He's sticking around. Vision obscured. Does manage to drop off, but straight through. ZywOo strikes, as does Kyojin. Huge advantage seized early into the piece. Vitality. 2 frags to the good.
Don't know how you get back into this one for FURIA now. There's so much time for Vitality to play with this. Maybe that could be their undoing. The AWP hasn't been picked up. Shox there just highlighted as that passive lurk again, making sure no pushes can come through the B side of the map.
And we just pause.
Okay, so a lot of utilities just being thrown, right? We get this molly towards bathrooms. We get the smoke divider as well, and that's all smoke and mirrors, right? What they're trying to do is feign the fact that there's heavy presence rotated over towards A, hoping that Vitality head towards the B bomb site. But as ZywOo clears out close long, they do continue their walk towards that A bomb site. 40 seconds remaining on the clock about now, and Shox is lurking B. They might use this number advantage. Walk Shox in, see who's home, and react off of that info.
It's in FURIA's interest to not be seen here.
Shox saw one head, and that flash helps. They're going to go A.
Yeah, they are. There's nobody home. Nothing that they can do about this. Honda's not even going to commit. I think they'll just start playing for the save. A bit of a gamble stack converted into a Vitality round. I say that. It could be a punish from Shox as well. If they're going for like graffiti save, you might have a little late stroll.
It's all it took with Shox to see the one ahead there. And you were right. If they stayed hidden and Shox ran in and saw nothing, then sure. But if you're FURIA, you want to try and get the jump on that. So this will be the third for Vitality, and FURIA need to save. Just the back and forth nature of these last few rounds. If you have a look from round 5 onwards, it's been round for round. Nobody with 2 consecutive since. And it's all about breaking FURIA's economy. We've seen a lot of this come into play over the last year and a half. The percentages have been pushed. Everybody knows saving those guns, keeping every round costly. The Shock's going to have a look here. The bomb's going to go off. That might be his cue to start running. Apex is here, Masuda too. They want to take these guns away.
Here they come, pushing in. Vinny deters one. The swing to come in. He's punished by Masuda, and so 1 for 1. And it looks like immediately Gary wants to just get himself back on the microphone. FURIA to take a timeout, not letting the vitality gap close.
Yeah, this is important to do, right? Because with those 2 saved guns, you might fall into the trap of hastily buying behind it, or finding maybe one of these situations that we've spoken about a lot where a team will take like a half buy and then they'll take like another half buy. I wouldn't mind seeing them go all in, and I think that's indicated by Yuri here. He's fully invested. You know the next round's only going to be a $1,900 loss bonus, and normally when this happens early on, we're talking within the first few rounds of the game, you will see the force buy. So this has just been extended.
Okay.
Just due to that rally of rounds. But this is still scary, right? KSCERATO with a rifle, Art's bought into a scout. This is a long-range map. If Art's able to get a tag or 2 with the scout, soften them up, make things a little bit awkward for this late round, there is a chance for FURIA to strike back yet again and keep this rally going. Apex yet to find a kill, but it's not really mattering too much. They're still keeping this competitive, still keeping it close enough.
Back nades and they're boosting. Good night, Honda. And nearly Vinny. That was almost the double. Very lucky to see Vinny kicking about still. That could have been another instance like 3v5. Yeah.
The walking wounded at this point, and now I think it has to be a gamble again. And the reason I say that is because FURIA next round, we already spoke about the fact it will be an eco. You've lost a man immediately. You haven't been able to respond at all because it was the dunk nades. Oh, KSCERATO's pushed through here. Hold up a second. Shox would have heard that flash, so he has an idea that something is up. And if they rotate back quickly, they might have 3 players on A. KSCERATO can deal with the rotation on his lonesome. 1 flash, 1 HE.
If they just walk in contact, Yuri's going to have the element of surprise. Well tracked. Apex draws blood. Problem now, Art's going to be Molotov straight into the fray. Finds the frag. Oh, and a second on the FAMAS. That's more than you could have asked of him. KSCERATO on the flank, kept busy by Shox.
Has to win this fight.
Yeah, but it's not being made easy. Close the gap. He's down to 49. An advantage now for the M4A1. Oh, nice find from Shox, and that's the end of that.
Vinny's left in a position where he has a scout. I'm sure he doesn't want to have to save that, but this is the situation where it's better than nothing. You know, when you say that and you're squinting and you're wincing and you're, oh, yeah, okay. He has a kid, he has Kevlar, he has the scout. All right, well, it makes sense, but this will be Vitality with number 4. And those nades just to kick it off, right? The utility being picture perfect like that. You know, they throw it, doesn't hit anybody. All right, cool, we can still work this round out. But that, a big step in the right direction here.
And of course, earlier, I mean, you know, maybe just putting 2 and 2 together for no reason, but there was a lot of early pressure from the Vitality boys towards short. About halfway through the half, you end up trying to boost to hold that, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, and as well, if you think about this, right, they knew they saved guns. So if we start thinking about this from a perspective of, okay, well, they saved guns, let's assume that they don't buy. What are they going to do with those guns to try and find kills? We have to have a couple little cheeky moves. Boosts fall into the category of those cheeky moves. So Vitality just going through the options here, and this time round, they get the big thumbs up. Here it is again for your viewing pleasure. Tactical nukes. And Art did well to get 2 there. Did a very good job because the molly was great. That could have been a difference maker.
A very different maker, yeah. If the Shox had gone down on that first exchange, very different. The pressure from Toilet, ZywOo was there. Okay, we've got 3 early Fountain side. In fact, 4. They're just throwing their unarmored and unequipped bodies towards the underpass, looking for anything early, able to throw their numbers towards someone.
Do you know one of the interesting factors here? Because I think this one... Oh, hold on a second. I was about to say could be dealt with.
He shouldn't get any more. He's done very well to find a head and another one. The precision from KSCERATO was actually put Art in a great position to punish.
Oh!
What a shot out of Apex. These last 2 rounds, he's found some serious scorches. Oh, that was a freebie coming up the ladder.
Okay, so it didn't get out of control, which is going to be well handled. Now, one of the conversations which we could have is about Art now having to do the primary AWPing, and that might actually leash him a little bit, because the madness of Art is one of everybody's favorite things to see, but now there's no secondary AWPer. Well, I guess, primary AWP, because Art was secondary, aggressive, getting in your face, combat AWP.
Yeah, he did have the best of both worlds, and I'm sure he vocalized at times that he loves this opportunity because he can just take it when he wants it, as opposed to doing the housekeeping, the necessity side of the AWPing, which of course Junior was filling, or previously Henny.
And that's the crazy thing, right? When you reflect on this team with Henny, the really good thing about Henny was he wasn't having to do entry AWPing, but he could if he wanted to. And then he was so good in the clutch, in the late round.
Yeah.
It was great to see as Vinny's been able to find Masuta here. Yuri's in a great spot to spoil something.
Yeah, well, the fact he had the Kevlar vest left over, and now Yuri's tapped at Apex. That's going to be a fist through the desk moment if this goes the way of Vinny. Bomb ticking.
Vinny has a kit. Why not have a crack?
2 to find. I mean, yeah, exactly. What's stopping you? There's no nades to be thrown your way. You've got the kit. You've even grabbed a smoke. Okay, I'm standing up. Hold on. Now, ZywOo's...
Could this be like a last-second ninja, assuming he's going to save?
Oh, did ZywOo get any info?
Yeah, spotted on the jump. Shox has immediately moved.
Okay. Well, that does nullify all of his chances. He definitely not going to be able to get onto the site now. And just as he pulls the pin, ZywOo far too smart about this game. Reads it to perfection. Strikes just as he had to get his body on the bomb.
If a player wasn't as diligent as what ZywOo was just there, and they're expecting Vinny to go for a save scenario, there's a chance he comes in, just drops the smoke on the bomb, starts defusing, 30 bullets in the smoke, Vinny wins the round.
And that's just the ZywOo game brain. Not only the fact that he's, you know, sticking around, but the fact he's jumping APC for the long info.
It wasn't a wide peek by any means, was it?
And plays safe in bank until he knows the defuse has to come in and then proceeds to walk back in. Love that. Okay, let's get into it.
Get light on nades here, old FURIA, for the next gun round of play. Honda even down to a FAMAS, so this could be a punishing round for Vitality, but not if Art kicks things off like that. The big man ZywOo goes on down, a big entry.
Yuri about to meet Apex. Previously very successful. He's done it again. He is looking a bit sharp. Look at his face, just dirt off his shoulder.
I don't think he meant to hit that one. You love those shots, the reactions.
Surprises himself.
Well, that's the aggressive prong of A eliminated, and it's forced a two-man rotation over towards the aforementioned site. KSCERATO looking to get aggressive, paired up with Honda here. And they don't have any more smokes to delay this B hit. It will be coming. Oh, they're on their lonesome. They're on an island, these two.
And here it comes. The slow, methodical stranglehold. It's not quite on the mark from Shox. And now Honda makes it good. 2 from the FAMAS. If KSCERATO can just hold him at bay, the rotate's on its way. Apex returns too short through that connector. Kyojin actually maneuvering the bomb back. 40 seconds. It looks like it will be the commit. He just wanted to line up Barrel's volley, so that will force KSCERATO's hand. Oh, and he partnered it up with the spray for not only through the wall bang, but with Apex, it doesn't quite convert. They really wanted to force KSCERATO off the barrels, but he's elsewhere, and now it can take some pot shots. Art spotted out. Bends the hitbox, strikes on his second chance. Apex is doing it all! He's looking very robotic, and he nearly pulls it over the line. Good God. What was in his breakfast cereal?
That was some sharp shots. They've all started 0-7. The last couple of rounds with these reactions that he's just flicked away into have been looking spicy. Makes that one costly as can be.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's just once he's in that LAN environment, it all comes back to him. He loses like 6 years off of his age. He goes straight back. Young gun Dan Madisclair. Look at you. That wasn't sped up. That was just him. You filthy boy. He's got some, I think we're going to have an Apex moment before this series is done.
He smiled about that one, all right? That's the that's not the usual look in Apex. And this is the buy. 2 MP9s and a scout. Looking very, very rough for FURIA here to contest against 5 AK-47s.
We've seen them win with less. Art posted up on this party peak, ZywOo. And Art in tow as well to lock this down. It is only the scout. He's been spotted out. Unwilling to re-peek, and you can't fault him there.
Yeah, might want to drop back. We know that Vitality love these bathroom creeps, and Masuta, Apex, and ZywOo all doing so. Flash out towards long with a couple of steps might be heard. They're actually giving them an avenue into the site right here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the 3-man long side. It's a warning shot from that scout. Walking in, and oh dear, that's a bad one for Honda to be caught out. Knife in hand, and there goes the round chance, unless Vinny's MP9 is made of sterner stuff. Somehow, he's actually taking Apex down to 10 HP. It's Yuri that's lingering in those toilets, and it's enabled a 2v3 to be established.
This is so awkward.
If Yuri's ready for Kyojin, he didn't quite catch him on the jiggle. That was his chance. And now things will peter out. KSCERATO, No kit. And no intention.
It felt like for a second there he might want to have a glance. I'm just considering it. Well, that's going to be 6 rounds now. So Vitality have a very respectable first half here. And you love what you're seeing there. That was exactly that creep we're talking about from Vitality. I know when I say bathroom creep, take that out of context, probably sounding a little bit strange, but they do love to get these pacey maneuvers where they're aware of the lines that get held and they're able to walk and maneuver around them. And you can see Honda there. He was jump peeking, had no idea. They peek on out. They punish him and they get their way into the site. So Vitality now really course correcting. Here's a bit of a B-stream update.
The boys won the pistol.
Okay, well, that's positive. This is a rough one. I don't know if you guys saw the meme that ESL tweeted out. It's quite funny. Go and check out the Twitter sphere. Had a bit of a giggle myself. But Renegade's one of the surprises, I would say the surprise from the play-ins, up against the big dogs of Na'Vi.
Well, aren't they the reason we can't say the whole top 15 or something's here?
Yeah, OG were on the receiving end of a 2-0 battering yesterday. It was a very good game to watch.
The Inferno game, honestly, it just reminded me of what we've got, the luxury we have in front of us for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was great Counter-Strike. OG are obviously heartbroken, but Renegade's dream come true in a big way.
Yeah, and I haven't even kind of reflected on the OG side of that story, but it is a brutal one for those guys because been on the upward trend. They have. Vinny's going to smoke that off upon contact. Now would be the perfect time. Does drop it out.
Just
Flash to push through it. And they'll just throw bullets down range. There shouldn't be anything.
Wait, KSCERATO has the bomb.
Oh, you're right.
KSCERATO has the bomb under his control right now.
What do you plan to do with it? Chance, he's already been tagged down to 20, so we might have to forego that bomb now.
This would be a 1-on-5, wouldn't it?
No, look at Masuta. There's no way he's anticipating this. He's still got his knife out. See you later.
Okay, well.
7-7, so this half could not be closer. And I'll remind you how it started. We did see FURIA get off to the races with a great pistol. It went 4-0 before Vitality started posting some resistance. But on the second half of our first, it's been all one-way traffic for Vitality.
Yeah, and don't forget round number 5, which threw things into disarray for FURIA's economy. That was Kyojin with the 3 kills on the Deagle and the follow-up with the scavenged AK, right? That was a huge round to get them on the board. And that's what's really put FURIA limping. They haven't had, I want to say, super full gun rounds throughout the remainder of this half. So let's see, one last time, Art on the AWP. And there he is again. That's 3 AWP openings for Art in this game so far.
Now all FURIA have to do is hold on to this, and saying hold on to it, Yuri's not got a Kev with that AUG. That's a weird one. Come back to that still. Doesn't stop Vinny from drawing blood. That was the bomb spotted in a second, puts his head straight in the vice. Could have been 3. He knocked on ZywOo's door, knocked him down to 64. Shocks in onto Honda from the short swing.
Yuri has to be so careful. Oh, lucky he backpedaled out in time. ZywOo is coming.
KSCERATO's got a duel with the bomb carrier, and now ZywOo thrust into a clutch. And it's the final round of play, boys, so strap yourselves in. There's no reason we don't get to see ZywOo at maximum capacity to go for this.
Note the angle that KSCERATO's dipped back to here. So we know the bomb's dropped and we knew that he was aggressive. So as ZywOo has 55 seconds now to claw this one back, you can see this little jiggle from KSCERATO to clear that pipe. The problem is ZywOo has to worry about aggression from everywhere.
So the information he's got so far is he knows Yuri was connector, could float flank. Outside of that, he knows that the bomb was pushed up Monster. That's where it was lost. Now receding back into the site. KSCERATO could be anywhere. And that's what ZywOo's looking for. But this is kind of the beauty of FURIA's play, is that ZywOo has so many questions to answer. He's going to run out of time here.
Might get caught on one of these jiggles as well. He has been, and that's it. That's going to be 8-7 on the half for FURIA. They get the smallest of margins going into the break, and we will be right back to conclude map number 1. Stay right with us.
Hey Future Pros! Today we took the private jet and we landed in Overpass. And this time we have a CT molly which will help you get aggressive in the fountain area.
Both first glimpse of FURIA. Kicking off our first day of play in the top 16. Let's get this party started. Fist bumps exchanged. I'm Machine. I've got Chad Sponge Birchall with me, and we are jumping into our second half. Vitality 7, FURIA 8, swapping sides. We'll get to see now the Brazilian squad on the attack. And just to take a quick note of the scores as we come into this one, Kyojin, ZywOo, and Shox all keeping a kind of an even keel and being the fragging presence for Vitality. We saw what Apex was up to. It looks like he's definitely going to warm into this one. He's started at 0-7, but started hitting some real scorchers towards the second half of the first. 1xBet.
Yeah, still favoring Vitality here. I'm surprised that didn't tip at all, because FURIA were looking good in patches.
This is going to be mad. There's 3 players here for both squads. We've got a 3v3 in a corridor. Good luck, have fun. Kyojin's head tucks in, suited to swing out. ZywOo unable to contribute. I say, just as I say that, he actually finds Honda and retreats.
Surely he's not coming back. ZywOo, what are you doing?
You don't need to. You crazy. Oh, just as KSCERATO looks away, ZywOo strikes. And he's gone, evaporates into thin air.
This is going to make this round very difficult. Yuri's gone and scavenged that smoke off his teammate's dead body. So they're still working with all of Art's utility. Shox is listening to a lot of rotations here. Over towards Graffiti, hearing them running up connector, so that can be relayed. And what that's forced is 2 players, ZywOo and Apex, are now residing on top of this A bomb site.
Oh, that's so much util. If Art goes down, oh, quick find. ZywOo's having a pistol. Tucks in close. He's down to 28, an advantage for Art, but he's throwing in that util now. It's his chance of ZywOo.
My God.
He is a god. 4, make it 5. If he could just find Vinny, a 1v1 established. Shox working around the world. He's opted for long. Can Shox finish what ZywOo started and nearly finished on his own?
His back's open.
Wide open, and Shox stabilizes, cool as a cucumber. He'll finish that one off, and Vitality given an absolute mammoth performance out of their star player into the pistol. ZywOo is here, and he reminds us all.
The fact that he, in that situation, when he's low and peppered and knows Art's long, doesn't back away, but actually goes forward for the fight, right? He was thrust into that.
On his last bullet, Chad.
It's just insane. Like, the fact he gets the opening kill and connector to take down Honda, then he re-peeks back in knowing there's more players down there. He's picking a timing window. What's the alternative of that? He goes down, there's 2 players standing there, he catches that perfect timing, and
this is a scary one for Shox. Like, he's just making sure he's got it perfectly played, but ZywOo, definitely the head turner.
That was some big stuff there from ZywOo and necessary stuff. But look at this buy. Hold up a second. Art is into a Krieg. There's 2 AK-47s, a Scout, and a Deagle. Tell me whose buy's better.
Yeah, we'll have to crunch the numbers on that one. Certainly not shaped up too poorly to try and relinquish control of Vitality's economy early.
Art on a Krieg. This is a great weapon for him to be able to wield around and get this space with. He can punish much more than he could with a Scout, and I don't think they're going to be expecting a weapon like this in the second round.
For example, look at the angle ZywOo was currently adopting. He was just up on the ledge. It's great against Deagles, bit scary against the scoped-up Krieg.
Yeah, so this is, if Art can establish some room here, and he is going to get a chance to fight against Shox, who is jiggle peeking long. Now that has just been rejigged around as I said it. There's 3 players on this A site. Apex needs to be so careful on his jump peaks for long, because he could get plucked out of the air. It's not going to take a lot. Honda's Scout fires off, so that's an indication not to re-peek. Yuri baiting with the Glock as well, cheeky. There's an AK. Oh, there goes the Krieg.
That's falling apart quickly for FURIA, and with 35 seconds left, they might not clear Shox. No, they've even got smokes in their hands. A bit of trigger discipline has cost him his life. Bit late to withdraw the weapon. If ZywOo falls, which is a big if, in capitals no less, as even with 2 HP, he controls the spray for another. KSCERATO down the round is Vitality's, and that full investment from FURIA with only 1 kill to show for it.
Now, I promise you it was threatening on paper. I know it didn't look that way, but they got all the real estate they wanted. That was looking like it could have been a fantastic little clamp down on the A bomb site from FURIA, but they've been kept very, very honest. No plan, 1 kill.
So he's 74 on that exchange, 2 after Honda's tag. And will make it a full 3K. He's just come into this half and looking a little possessed. He makes it 4. Jeez.
So that's back-to-back 4Ks from
He had
ZywOo.
12 frags on the half, and now he has 20 3 rounds in.
All right, well,
8 frags in 3 rounds, not bad.
That's one way to do it, isn't it? They do have an AK again. All right, well, this is Art up to his classic antics here. He's about to get a chance. Masuta not having the best of games and not necessarily needed to right now. And no, Art only has Kevlar with this, no head armor. So the MP9 is going to be very deadly.
Art could have an opportunity to punish Kyojin if he keeps peppering. Vinny contending with Shocks.
Did he spot the left?
No. Oh, and just as he looks away, he averts his gaze and Shocks strikes. On the way in, Art reveals the AK though. Kyojin does immediately hit the panic button. Not interested in that exchange, especially with the FAMAS. MP9 and FAMAS, not ideal. And Masuta strafes in. Good find from Art. He's their only hope, the beacon of hope. And defended nicely. Apex has picked up that Krieg and is plying his trade nicely. Yuri, however, with one and a second out of the Deagle.
Fox is flanking.
We've got a round all of a sudden. He wasn't supposed to get two. There's no way KSCERATO is going to be able to win that duel with a Glock. But just getting the bomb down, and Yuri couldn't quite pull the trigger in time.
Oh, kept that one close, didn't they? Much less of an investment there. They get the bomb down, they kill 3 players, so making Vitality spend a lot of pennies coming into the next round to play, but that one, very, very close stuff from FURIA. And now they can get the full buy. It's insane how much they invested and then reinvested and then still were able to get a full buy going into the next round. So
He did get the bomb down, right?
Yeah. He was able to plant that one. This is the thing. If KSCERATO had anything other than a Glock, maybe Shocks is dead.
True. Yeah, even a P250 could have given him a chance.
Ooh, Apex. Yeah, this is what we were saying. We know that he's a very emotional-looking character. There's a lot of speculation online about, you know, imagine being his teammate and the effects that has on the people around him. Let me tell you, it goes the other way when they're winning. He's firing you up and he's making you feel like an absolute bloody god. But this is a bit of a technical timeout, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with us. We'll get this one sorted and get everything back underway ASAP.
Yeah, if you want to take a little look at the fragging charts as we take this additional pause. Shocks is managing to keep up with ZywOo at the moment. We know we talked about the fact that you couldn't really rely on him, but to be fair, in the absence of Masuta here on Overpass, Shocks has filled that void and has kept them very competitive. 16 frags, he's averaging 100 ADR.
I think on the other side of things, it is KSCERATO with 15 kills, but it's been more of a team effort to get to this point. 12 for Art, 12 for Yuri, 11 for Vinny. Honda with 9, but we had Honda get 4 kills, I believe it was, on their first pistol round, right? So Impact, you have to really take it where you can get it.
Yeah.
And Apex, you can see 9 kills for him. He's had a couple of rounds on that T side with a few nice frags. And Masuta, well, he's not having too much fragging impact just now, but I'm sure he's doing his job within the team.
Vitality, of course, securing themselves a spot in that first day of play, so they had that extra luxury of a day in the sun, a day in the prac room.
I don't know how much sun they were getting.
I saw a picture. They were lying on the grass.
Okay.
Making good use of their allocated hour.
Yeah, well, you gotta get that vitamin D in the system. So freeze time, yep, you can see it's commencing. We are getting back underway here. Round number 19 is going to start, and the economy fragile for most of the members of Vitality right now. It's just Shocks and ZywOo with residual cash here. Heading swiftly over towards that B pipe will be Honda. Double naded.
Ooh. Yeah, but Honda's out of there. He managed to beat the punch. Oh, you say that. 50 damage, of course, down the gullet. But at least he's out and unchecked. There's no info or sound cues been given up. He's certainly about to meet.
Apex is going to push here, 100%.
Yeah, off the molly. Honda going to have to deal with this. Apex is pushing down. Oh, and completely booked him. Flashed, Molotoved. That's a great mid-round maneuver from Vitality to seize an advantage.
KSCERATO is filling that gap very quickly, though. He might have a chance to take one player out towards barrels, and Kyojin in transition goes down. The second onto Masuta is not good. But a trade nonetheless, and 3 on 4 they can work with. Still wanting to head towards this B bomb site. Door swings open. Yuri looking to go towards Monster. Art going to join him.
Vitality looking pretty indomitable at the moment here on the CT side. The most convincing round we've seen out of Furia's T side was when it was just Deagles and Yuri started hitting some crackers.
Look how far Shocks has pushed up again. He can almost confirm that it will not be the A bomb site here. So ZywOo's had the liberty of heading over towards this B site. The boost with 30 seconds. Running out of time, boys, but the frag is good. 3v3.
Where do you go from here? And now Art's caught Masuta as he reacts to that first frag. ZywOo called upon to defend the site. Rotates very late. He's very detached from the pack. He's all alone. The only people keeping him company are FURIA, and he's managed to wrap around the world. Another strike, this time onto Vinny. Art's the last man standing, tagged. Yet to fall, planting open to heaven. That should be the finish, but Shox has opted to go low. He will have time to reposition. Art is in a complete black box, has no idea as to Shox's location, and he's just no, that's him. Booked. Shox will take him, and that will be another for Vitality.
Let me talk you through 3 of the rounds on this CT side where Shox has had impact. It's all been looking at the back of players, right? You think about the pistol round in this, he's just had to stroll around. Vinny has his bottom spanked there as he's in the open, backpedaling towards long. The round where he comes wrapping around with the MP9 after Yuri has those deagle kills you were just prefacing. 2 players looking, wow, in his direction, but he's flanked yet again. And this time, Art's gone, well, of course he's going to be coming behind me. No, he's come all that way, the long rotation, back through CT spawn, and it's forced another timeout out of FURIA here. So Shox's impact is being felt to close these rounds, and that's the reason he was brought into this team Vitality in the first place. Second timeout for the Brazilians has been called, and the plant and the closeness of these rounds will facilitate yet another buy. It's not going to take a lot to break Vitality. They just need to get it across the line there with one of those rounds, and it will need to be their first T-side round indeed. Art into the big green. Has head armor alongside it, a smoke as well to boot, and he's been good, especially on the CT side with the AWP opening picks. If he can replicate that now here on the T side, it might be that changing factor they need.
Shoxy. Oh, I thought he would just take an info peek. He's actually wrapped all the way around, tucked into party instead. And he's completely on a one-man mission here.
It's 4 players over towards B. You're right. This is more than an island. The guy is marooned.
But it's enabling Vitality to have so many players stacked up.
He can call there's nothing here. The smoke towards front bathrooms, the Molotov towards divider, it means literally nothing.
Yeah.
Shox is calling nobody A. Apex is playing front side to worry about connector only, but he's on that fast rotation towards B where Kyojin, ZywOo, and Masuda all reside.
Yeah, it's like Shox is really switched on. They've done their research. It enables them to get all of that info. All that hard work, FURIA throwing their default util toilets, it's just redundant. He's even working on a fast flank, and you can see Kyojin's buying time as Shox starts to close that clamp shut.
Oh dear, this is
badass.
Worse and worse for FURIA now. Shox might even be here in time. The creep is coming. The smoke has denied them even longer.
He's gonna make it. He's gonna make it in time. Art's still got his smoke cocked. If Masuta could just find his first fight, if he beats KSCERATO, Dink exchange, the AK's better. Shox, however, should have an opportunity to strike at least onto one. He'll hear the pin pull, at least the steps. But they're wrapping short side.
Art's dead, 100%.
Eliminated. What's the reaction? FURIA, upon knowledge.
Connected to A.
Straight away, the door swung open.
This is so late, 20 seconds. They gotta get a move on.
Apex should be there in time.
Shox is flanking the flank.
Flanking the flank, you will eventually be flanked. Yeah, let's find out. KSCERATO alongside, knife foul, spotted. He's low, not quite low enough. He gets around the corner in time. ZywOo, Kyojin late. It's Apex is tucked in. A chance for a double. ZywOo strikes as well, and it all comes falling apart for FURIA. What a round from Vitality. Just a demonstration of the power of information.
That is wild, right? The fact that they use their utility so perfectly towards Monster. In those scenarios, when you do have that B stat going, a lot of the time you want them to come on in, but they were delaying just enough time for Shox to get there and punish. Fantastic work, and holy moly, what is going on over there? 7-1 for Renegades? Make that 7-2, just updated right now, but Na'Vi. All right.
Oh, holy moly. Red Beans and Ravi. Don't forget, by the way, this is also the Inferno that they beat OG on and looked really good on. So perhaps that's their map if they're keeping Na'Vi under the thumb.
Very curious scenes right there indeed. All right, keep an eye on both streams here, ladies and gents, because this one could still get close.
Just day 3, Chad. Already scorcher matchups across the board.
Still the amount of aces today and the caliber of aces. Like, I can't wait till we get that montage made of all of them, and you can just see how high tier they were. They're not gifted. None of these I've seen today are gifted. But here we go again. FURIA going back over towards B. Shox is just, he's done on his own. It just has so much info. It's wild. We got 2 smokes, couple of flashes.
And it's not a job anyone other than Shox could be doing. It's a read of the game, it's information, it's experience. So nice smoke thrown out. That should enable progress. What's ZywOo's cue to pull the trigger now?
Double volley. They can't run through that one.
Yeah, okay, fair play. He tries to reposition, blinded off. FURIA want to throw their bodies in, and here they come. Another incendiary to surge them forwards, and ZywOo strikes first. Kyojin tames the spray on short, and that's the end of FURIA's foray into an Armored Deagle round. KSCERATO to be boosted up, set up for a potential one-way over that.
I think they see this one coming, don't they?
Oh yeah, and Shox is there right on the nick of time to strike again from behind. Vitality's CT side is very indestructible. We still have not seen evidence that FURIA can post a T round.
Yeah, and a lot of that is facilitated by the positives you're pointing out with this CT defense of just info, right? They're doing the right plays, but knowing where the enemy's coming makes things a little bit easier in a big way. Now, 6 rounds here on the trot. FURIA had a very competitive first half and yet to post a T round. So another timeout called. This will be their third. A buy yet again. It hasn't felt like there's been too many rounds where they're hamstrung with purchases. They always have something to be a little bit threatening. But what could they possibly change? Because right now, if you're Vitality, you're talking through the approaches. Okay, well, it's felt pretty B heavy, right? They feigned a little bit of A presence. Maybe you want to mix things up and try a bit more of an A shutdown, right? Go for something where you're having a few more players with shocks. Here's this approach again. You can see those smokes we were talking about. They're contingent that they're able to run through once the smokes land because it's about surprise and opening up new avenues that haven't been communicated and called at that time. Let's see what's the approach here. ZywOo heading over towards A now. Shox and Apex, so it's a heavy A lean. They might just shut FURIA out of this one straight away.
Time to find out. ZywOo flashed off the line. AWP presence noted as he fires off the shot. Shox, what are you doing? Is he just... He's just walking up straight away and he takes the fight successfully. Kyojin having no issues on the monster either. Again, FURIA just fall straight down into a 5v3. What are they supposed to do? Maybe Honda taking some initiative and just between the wickets there. Too many options. Nothing to say. And it's Vitality just running towards that 16. FURIA missing, absent, without leave here in the second half of Overpass. It was an 8-7 half, Chad. We couldn't separate them. But it seems Vitality's defense is just way too much for FURIA to handle.
Yeah, the max loss bonus without the plant, it's looking a little bit limp right now, so it should just be the pistol upgrade here, but oh dearie me. This has been a rough T half to watch from FURIA, and knowing that they go into Nuke next, they will have to start on the T side of their map choice. That is a bit of a worrying sign, and we can hear the French now starting to get loud, starting to get very proud. And you never want to be defending against 15 with only an AK and some upgraded pistols.
Oh, wow, that looked too easy.
And mounted up again, the boost, Profits, Art down, AK on the deck. Vinny picks that one up and more nade damage coming through. KSCERATO, you wanted to boost? That's not happening anytime soon. And Apex, he wants more. They're about to push on out aggressive.
Okay, set up for success. One, not quite the second. It's Yuri in response, but that weapon is not going to be easy to retrieve, especially now the floor is covered in flame. And such an absence of information, Vinny is going to have to take some risks here. He's going to have to take a couple of gambles as he tries to regain control of toilet side.
It almost feels like they're playing 4 players B and knowing that anybody could get past Shox at any time and just letting Shox do whatever he wants. Because all these positions he's playing, there are gaps. But Vitality are accounting for them every time, and ooh, almost Vinny falling there. So this one starts to get interesting, but with 45 seconds left.
They're going to push Monster. He's holding with the Deagle. It's not going to be easy. Yuri's Deagle, everyone's Deagle is just something else today. Uh-oh, Honda, nearly.
How is this the round they're going to win?
Of all of the rounds, it comes down to this one.
This was a 3v5.
Yeah, well, ZywOo could change that still, but Honda in the off angle, he'll collect as well. Okay, FURIA finally with their first T round of our first map of play.
That's a completely different situation if Shox kills Vinny. That's done. That's all over. So the fact that Shox goes down there just after we've been praising him, it was only a little detail, right? And it's not the end of the world. They still have a massive buffer of rounds here. But this is how it started for Apex. Way too good. The AK invested gone. Honda almost made a meal of that one, but finishes things off with a strong kill onto ZywOo, not suspecting him to be pushed all the way up. At least they're on the board now. Let's see how many more that can lead to. A change here, no longer towards that B site, heading straight over towards A.
Okay, and it's going to be Honda trying to sell the util for that short control.
They heard a lot of steps there. They are backpedaling very, very fast away from Connector. And FURIA, the same. Everybody's headed in the same direction right now.
Apex, still silent on the mic, but will he be silenced on the server? Tucked in on toilets, walking contact from FURIA. Will there be util to lead, or will they play ahead of it? Oh, Apex in his transition, a chance for Art, gone awry. And so still, 5v5, it's double AWP in play for the CT. So if that bomb goes down, retakes are going to be a different kettle of fish. Info and a missed shot. Apex confirms. It feels a little too like an A hit. Shox flash, might want to peek off of his own. They've kind of hit pause. How does that make you feel, Chad?
I think they're just letting Art work this long presence right now. They have to clear out close behind this plant a box, and they have done so, but it is definitely an A hit. There's no other option. Clearing out close with these mollies. This is looking very, very telegraphed now.
Yeah, I mean, 4 members of Vitality are here. Let's see. It will come down to the execution. 35 and counting. Every second that passes starts to favor Vitality even more, but on the crouch peak, now time for the util. That's their cue, and FURIA start to feel the feed with a second. Masuta silenced. Apex responds. He needs more than that, though. They're swinging in. The shadow gives him a cue. Art adds another to his tally. 2 on 3. The French need to stop that bomb plan any way possible. Art does it all. Bomb to be planted. He can't knock him off it. He'd love to. Maybe a chance. It's Yuri to close it out, and FURIA finally, not only with the first, but the second as well here on the T side. 8-7 half. Timeout called by the French. It leaves us to a 14-10. As the first glimpse of success for FURIA in the second half.
Okay, and now they can think about whittling this CT-sided economy. It's just this one round needed to break Vitality's bank, to force them into a situation where they have to have conversations. What are we going to buy? Who's going to drop what? Do we need a save? They're being put on notice now. It was a great start, 7-round spree, put them all the way up to 14 rounds here, and they looked unstoppable. But now FURIA are in a position where they can wrestle this one back and, well, extend play indeed. Art with some great shots. Apex goes on down, jumping up and over. That's the Art we know and love. Kyojin, not much he could do there. Last-ditch attempt. And some confidence now for the Brazilian side. We do get back underway. Just the single AWP, 2 defuse kits, rifles and util. And this time, it's going to be 3 players coming through connector. The 2-man boost, getting hot on their toes. They've dropped
Timer on this? Yeah, okay. They're aware of it as well.
I think they were noisy as well on their dismount. Shock's doing his best to assist, and they're disrespecting the smoke. They will be walking into AWP of ZywOo here. Oh, they're going fast.
Yeah, really loud. He won't have time to retreat, and he's blind already. Just about gets vision and strikes. The first, perhaps of many. ZywOo loses vision again temporarily. FURIA held back, though, by ZywOo. That's a big contribution from Art. Stops the woo.
Everyone's here. They've all rotated for Vitality.
Big find from Masuta. Looking for his 10th now, as it's Art again looking to entry with the AWP. Are they doubling up? Bit of a bait and switch. Yeah, changes their plan and changes their setup. They're going to slip out of the site.
Oh, boosting. Defensively behind this fence, not a standard angle to clear by any means. Art spotted, Art down, Shock's huge.
So reserved. He doesn't flub those shots, just like the USB in the back. Stabilizes his aim, and that looks like the end for KSCERATO. It's only Yuri, and he doesn't really have the health for this. 2 kills to his name already. Bomb plant certainly would be welcome.
This would be some clutch.
Not with this health. He'd have to find somehow isolate these duels. He needs to be able to bolt the first. Deagle on hand, should he require? There's Kyojin. Nice wide swing. Vitality. 5 opportunities to throw a knockout blow and to secure their map pick.
Looking good there, yeah. Everybody just fought. I think Vitality realized, right, that there's no funny business with FURIA. When they're coming, they're coming. Everybody got where they needed to be. And the fact that they reposition with such poise, right, it's great to see Shock's Mantle get the kill, but the fact that that's the call, it's like, hey, let's go and reboost and give us a whole different angle to deal with here.
I do. I like the description of that from FURIA, though. It's like, it's the opposite of heroic. You know, for heroic, like, if they wanted to knock on the door, they'd like, first they'd knock on the back door, then they'd run around and they'd like tap on the window, then they'd run around, climb through the bedroom window. You know, that's the heroic strat. Whereas for FURIA, just run as a 5-man unit with their feet and kick down the door.
I think we could start calling some of the players for Heroic a bit of a knock and run.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
What's it called? Knock-a-door dash?
I think we called it in Oz knock and run.
Knock and run? We called it knock-a-door dash or cherry knocking?
Cherry knocking.
Couldn't tell you why.
All right. Well, last time out called here. And here we go.
Yeah,
Buy
that's
us
not bad,
in.
Chad. I'm remembering that. That's...
Someone write that down.
Yeah, someone remember
Our
that
brains
one.
are going to forget that but as soon as we leave this room.
Good analogy. I'm sticking with it now. Oh, boy. Let's see what you got, FURIA. We haven't seen evidence that they can string together more than 2. They'd need to find 5 in a row if they wanted to contend and take us to OT.
They're doing the same play, though. 3 up through connector.
Ooh, again, disrespecting the smoke. So far, they haven't been punished when they do it, so it does enable a bit of a timing, perhaps. Yeah, Masuta. Masuta? He may not be ready for this, and there is a gap in the hold. Apex is not looking, does jump up for the info just in the nick of time. What's he supposed to do? Nearly 2. Apex left to finish the job. 4 on 3, and they're charging in. Art desperately trying to pull something back into contention, but the bodies are still dropping. Apex silenced.
Here comes the Shock's flank yet again.
He's always doing it so quick. His timing is impeccable. He's still got 60 seconds in the round, and he's locked the door behind him. Art has to address it. Shock's reserved at the right moment as well. Art with his back turn pulls the pin. It's going to be hard for KSCERATO and Art to break this. That fight on long with ZywOo, and as soon as contact's found with ZywOo, Kyojin can support from the bin. And here he comes to finish the job. Vitality, lock it down. That's their map, and it's under lock and key. A CT side to be remembered. FURIA struggle on the attack at 8-7 half, it ends 16-10. And now a T-side start for FURIA on Nuke.